Welcome to this video. In this video, we will review a topic rather than a book, specifically the components of a research article. I might be doing more of these types of videos because I really enjoyed researching several different sources rather than discussing the ideas just from one book. The kind of reading people do varies. For example, we can read books, blog posts, newspaper articles, online articles, magazine articles, and sometimes academic articles that are based on primary research or secondary research. These academic articles can be published online or in print. So unless somebody has taken graduate studies, they often do not know how to interpret a scholarly article or maybe have never even seen a scholarly article. And by scholarly or academic article, I mean a research paper that authors or scientists have published in a journal. Many claims that we hear or read in the general media are from so-called research studies. This can be from primary research, secondary research, or even a meta-analysis. And we often make important decisions from research articles, such as purchase decisions, policy, drug treatments, and investment decisions. It behooves us to understand what goes into an academic article. So specifically, I will review the elements of an academic article in a piecemeal fashion. And if you like the sound of this, then please keep watching. Importance of academic articles. Academic articles are important in contrast to books because they reveal new and emerging developments in a field, often because of the frequency of publication is much higher than for books. Many academic articles are peer-reviewed. So this means that a committee of academics in a discipline have decided that the article is worthy to be published. There are pros and cons to this process, I'll admit. I've even heard some interesting comments on the negative aspects of peer review from the author and former trader Nassim Nicholas Taleb that I hope to address when I post about the Incerto series. Research articles are also where scholarly conversations happen, and they follow the scientific method. When you read an academic article, you are listening to a conversation laid out in a systematic format. Components of a research article. At first glance, research articles can be intimidating. These articles are typically organized and structured in a general format, making it easier to navigate. While the ideas in a paper might be novel, their language, style, and organization tend to conform to the format requirements of a chosen journal. The benefits of information presented in a familiar format means that the readers can focus on the ideas in an article without having to spend time hunting down information that's presented in an unfamiliar fashion. The title. Let's look at the opening information. The title is a succinct representation of the research study. A well-crafted title can also inspire the reader's curiosity. Sometimes titles are misleading, so don't stop at just the title. Authorship. I always review the authors of a study. In general, authors of a study made substantial contributions to the conception and design, the acquisition of the data, and the analysis and interpretation of the data. Authors also play a key role in writing and in the revision of the article and grant final approval to the version that will be published. Usually, there are more than one authors for an academic article, and in general, the highest contributing author is listed first. Most papers have one corresponding author with an email address listed so that readers can contact them if they have questions. Authors should also list conflicts of interest such as financial affiliations with the products discussed in the research or who funded the study. These things matter. Abstract. The abstract is a short summary of the article which usually includes methods, results, and conclusions. A well-written abstract should contain keywords that inform the reader about the main topics covered in the study and to enhance the paper's searchability. Some people only review the abstract, which is a big mistake. It's similar to reading a book jacket and thinking you've read the book. The introduction. The introduction provides background on a topic, and it's where the authors explain their reasons for conducting the study. This is where the authors, quote-unquote, hook the readers or grab their attention. The introduction should state the current problem that needs addressing and what the purpose or aim of the research is. The literature review. The literature review is a synthesis of current or previous research on a topic. It highlights gaps in the literature and substantiates the need for the study. Sometimes literature reviews are organized in subsections with thematic headings, and that makes for easier reading. The Methods section. The Methods section tells the reader how the study was conducted. It delineates the design and procedures for the study. You will know whether the study was qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods because the authors will list it out here. This section should be complete, clear, and credible, such that another researcher could replicate the study. There might be subheadings with the treatment protocol or participants and ethical considerations listed here too. The reader should walk away understanding why the researchers made the choices they did, including assumptions and limitations, and how they collected the data. There might even be a data analysis subsection that goes into detail to describe how data were handled, which statistical tests were used, and the p-value that indicated a statistically significant difference. Sometimes the authors even explain why the statistical tests they selected were appropriate. Results. The results or findings contain the data generated from the study. The results section usually states the findings without bias or interpretation. A common misconception is that research results prove or disprove something. Research results can only confirm or reject a hypothesis that was stated in the introduction section. For a quantitative study, the results section is where numerical tables and figures are presented. For qualitative studies, sections of transcribed interviews will be presented here. Discussion. The discussion section contains the author's interpretation of the results. The authors elaborate on what the results mean and how the research adds to the body of knowledge. This is where the research question is answered. For example, if a hypothesis is statistically confirmed by the results, the authors will state what this might mean. Conclusion. Sometimes there is a separate conclusion section from the discussion that details the research implications for the world, the study limitations, and directions for future research. References. The references section is the final section of the article. This is where the authors list all of the publications that were cited in the article. Depending on the writing style used, the reference list can be in the order that they appeared in the article, or they can be listed alphabetically based on the author's last name. Final thoughts. So there you have it, a brief overview of the components of an academic article. Perhaps I will do another video about how to read and analyze an academic article. I hope this video was beneficial to you. Please share it with anyone else who you might think might benefit as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.